What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the Drowned Lands Brewery, and they are out of Warwick, New York, and this is their Silent Stars. So they're calling this one an unfiltered IPA that comes in at 6.8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. I don't know exactly how old this can is because it does not have a canned on date. However, I picked this one up, one of my favorite local bottle shops here in the Buffalo, New York area, brewed and bottled in Lewiston, New York. So shout out to Chris, Kenny, and the entire crew over there. Very good people. So last time I was at the shop hanging out and drinking and whatnot, I went home with a bunch of beer. This was one of the beers I picked up, and Chris and I started talking a little bit about Drowned Lands. He really enjoys their stuff. I've only had a couple beers at Brewed and Bottled earlier this year from them because I haven't been picking up their stuff for a couple years. They've been getting pretty decent, I want to say good distribution to the West New York area for the last couple years at the very least. And here in Buffalo, it's been a little bit more hit or miss. However, every time I see their beers, they never have a canned on date. And a lot of times I'll go to their Instagram or their website, and sometimes I can't get the information. So I kind of stayed away from their stuff because I don't know how fresh it is. However, Chris did say that this came into the shop, I want to say it was like a week or 10 days before I showed up. So this is at least a couple weeks old, but it shouldn't be much older than that, but I have no idea. So taking a gamble here, and we'll see how it is. So this one is brewed with Citra, both in the whirlpool and a dry hop. And this is the first beer I'm reviewing from Drowned Lands on the channel. And I know a lot of people out there enjoy their beer, and I just wish they had canned on dates. So, I could tell if I was picking up fresh beer or not, but it is what it is. A lot of breweries do that nowadays, and a lot of breweries will, post on Instagram or their website. And I think Drowned Lands has like a recent release section on their website, but I did not see this beer on that page. So I don't know. We'll see. That looks beautiful though. 6.8% Hazy IPA, or they say unfiltered. Yeah, for sure. Now on camera, it's going to look more dull. In person, very vibrant yellow-orange color. It looks beautiful. It's like the quintessential hazy IPA. Murky turbid, can't see through it. Almost 2 fingers of this bright white, somewhat soap sudsy looking head, but it also looks quite creamy. Hold it up to the light. It's very murky and turbid. The only kind of light coming through is at the bottom of the glass. But as I said, you look at that beer and you're in the mood for a hazy. I'm not turning that one down. Not whatsoever. It plays the role. Let's just say that. Let's get a nose. As I inhale the nose, shout out to Anderson over at Ginger Yeti Road Beers. He likes to do that quite a bit. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm getting more of the malt, and not in like a negative way, like this is, the hops have faded, but I'm getting that like crackery, bready kind of malt character. Let me wipe my nose here because it kind of went up my nose. That was kind of crazy. Anyway. Yeah, but then after that, I'm getting waves of like, I'd say like lemon, orange, big citrus characters, and it almost has like a candied, almost like starbursts, Skittles kind of nose to it. As far as I know, it's only Citra, but I'm getting like a little bit of berry, like maybe like a unripened strawberry. And I go back, maybe like a ripened strawberry. Here's the thing. It could be like, again, I said starburst, so candied citrus with a little bit of strawberry. It's like if you had, of the OG flavors of starburst, if you had all of them in the glass, except for the cherry. So you had the lemon, the orange, and the strawberry. That's kind of what it smells like in the nose. It's like a zesty orange too, maybe like a pithy grapefruit rind. Slight tropical fruits, or I should say more stone fruits. Like I'm getting like a little bit of like a peach and an apricot. The rind of a honeydew melon. A little bit of like a creamy papaya. Wow, this is starting to open up. Like that first sniff, I was like, yeah, I'm getting more of the malt, and now it's like it's opening up big time. Wow. It's kind of, the candied notes are kind of dying down a little bit, and now I'm getting more like fresh, vibrant fruit characters. Maybe a touch of an earthiness too. This smells fucking awesome. It smells pretty fresh, so I think it is, I guess. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That's nice. Nose was better though. I've had that happen a lot recently where the nose is being better. But the taste is really nice. I'll tell you what, that starburst kind of characteristic is, especially in the finish, kind of carrying over. And it's more of like the pink starburst. So the strawberry with a little bit of like an orange. Buying this a little bit lighter than 6.8, I'd say just under medium, so a bit thin, but it's all right. I think it helps keep it kind of more refreshing. The mouthfeel, it's nice. It's softer than anticipated. It's like mild to moderately carbonated, and it has like a smooth, somewhat creamy kind of finish. So I think the mouthfeel is better than the body, but it's also not like top tier or anything. The taste, forefront, bready, crackery malt, dives underneath the palate. After that, a lot of times I get citrus right at the forefront, and I'm getting a little bit of like an orange and grapefruit, like rind pith, something in that realm, a little bit bittering. But then I'm hit with more of like a stone fruit, peach and apricot, over-ripened peach, almost peach gummy ring. As it continues through, I get, again, the starburst. It's like the orange kicks back in, but the strawberry, I'm getting strawberry for some reason here, or some kind of nondescript red berry, but I'm saying strawberry, and it's giving me starburst, like candied starburst vibe. So I'd say like pink and I'd say pink and orange starburst. That's kind of what I would go with. I'm not getting as much a lemon. I was more in the nose. I'm also on the finish. While this doesn't have like a substantial kind of like, you know, floral resinous pine, you know, something in that realm, it does have a substantial dryness, and it also has, I know it's gonna sound weird, but like a honeydew melon, like rind, kind of like a earthy, somewhat bittering, like honeydew melon rind. Like it's pretty wild. What's kind of wicked to me is I'm getting a little bit of alcohol stringency at 6.8%. I know that sounds wild, and I probably say that, you know, once every 50 reviews when it comes to IPAs for a sub 7% beer, but I'm getting a little bit of like on the palate. There's nothing in my chest, but on the palate, there's a little bit, something going on, very slight. It's not off-putting or anything. It's just, I'm not used to that, where maybe 10, 15 years ago, drinking a almost 7% IPA, you might get a little bit of alcohol. You know, they've done a great job masking that nowadays. This one, not so much. The finish, this is bone dry. Not a ton of bitterness, very mild bitterness, but this is bone dry. And I think as a whole, I do enjoy this beer. I think this is very nice. I think it's pretty tasty overall. Outside of that like slight alcohol stringency and the slightly thin body, it's drinking really well, and great glass lacing. Very nicely done. I really like that. Now, as I go back for each sip, like that starburst kind of feeling on the back of the palate, it's almost like the starburst flavor without like an overbearing sweetness, because this is bone dry, mild bitterness, but it's not that sweet to begin with. It's sub 7%, so I didn't anticipate being all that sweet. And it's not. It just has more of like a candied fruit vibe as far as the taste goes, and not like the overbearing sweetness you would get with those type of candies. Yeah, I think this is pretty damn good. This would get into the 4.25 range if it wasn't for the slight alcohol stringency and thin body. As is, though, I'm going to give the Drowned Lands Brewery their silent stars. I'm going to give this a high 4 out of 5. We'll go 4.1 for the first ever beer I've reviewed from them. I had one of their Terra beers that was really good at Brewed and Bottled. I had something else from them, but I'm going to need to pick up more. When I know Chris or a local bottle shop in the Western New York area gets like a fresh drop of their stuff, I will definitely grab some more of their beer, because I know they make good beers based on a lot of my friends enjoying their stuff. It's just, you know, when you're paying, again, $4, $5, $6 a can, you don't want to take a gamble on, you know, a can being, you know, 4, 5, 6 months old. So, you know, that's kind of why I haven't. But I think as a whole, good brewery. And this is the first good beer to review on the channel. Anyway, we're going to throw this over here, and we're going to talk about price point availability. $5 a can. I'd imagine, you know, at the brewery or like closer to the brewery, you're probably talking $16, $18 a 4-pack. Always a little bit more expensive when you buy a single, no matter. That's my experience in the Western New York area, whether it's Chris at Brewed and Bottled, or Premier Gourmet, who I've shopped at for a long time, or, you know, go out to AJ's Beer Warehouse or Beers of the World in Rochester, or One Stop Brew Shop. Singles are always going to be more expensive here. That's how it is. I know some of you luck out and you're like, yeah, I go to a local bottle shop that doesn't upcharge on the singles, and, you know, that's awesome, but also not realistic for you know, store owners. They, you they got to take the time splitting them up, putting them in the system and everything. So if they charge an extra 50 cents, 75 cents, a buck for a single, I don't have to buy an entire 4-pack. I'm cool with that. So $5 for me might be a little bit cheaper for you. And then availability, I have no idea with the Drowned Lands, if I'm just being perfectly honest with you. Here in the Western New York area, like I said, we get decent distribution. Buffalo, it's a little bit more hit or miss. You see them a little bit more often in like Rochester and like the Finger Lakes region. But yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna grab some more from them. 4.1 out of 5. This would have been like a 4.2, 4.25 if the body was better and there wasn't that slight alcohol stringency on the palate, which just could be, again, user error in my terrible palate. But it's weird. I review a bunch of IPAs on the channel, as you know if you follow the channel, and I very rarely get alcohol stringency in a sub 8% beer, let alone 6.8. So it is what it is. Drowned Lands, all their labels look very similar, which is different colors, but they all have the same kind of template, I guess you would say. But yeah, anyway, if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.